Oh, pause.
Wait.
Okay. Pause. Was that music copyrighted? I don't want to get copyrighted again. In my opinion, I shouldn't have gotten copyrighted because the only thing that was copyrightable was the visuals. The music was fine. I didn't hear anything playing from downstairs. If there was, I didn't notice. And the only other thing was my voice and the watermark for the screen recorder. Unless any images of movies were also there that were copyrighted. But it was videos from other YouTubers, and I had made the assumption that they were within the copyright guidelines. Apparently they weren't. Or maybe throwing them together was a violation. I don't know. I layered new music over it. Okay, whatever. I was browsing through the comedies on Netflix, and I found Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, and the food is alive. And even though it's not connected to the ground, doesn't have any roots in it. The biology of the strawberry. It's got very big eyes, and you look into its mouth, it's just, all I remember seeing is nothing, and, well, with the size of the eyes, it doesn't leave room for much else. The existence of a mouth implies the existence of a digestive system, though no nostrils are seen, but plants use other means of getting the carbon dioxide out of the air and into them, other than lungs. So that's solved. But there were no roots. It was just the strawberry part. And the leaves, and there were arms. They were thin arms. I'm not so sure if they could hold the weight of it, but if they were made out of bone, yes, they can hold it. And if it was made out of wood, it could hold it. If it was out of bamboo, it could hold it. But it clearly has a brain of some kind. And, well, there's not really that much room for the brain. So that would explain that it doesn't have that high of an apparent intelligence. And it can learn to speak, but it did it very quickly. Now, if the neurons were condensed and compacted beyond what they are in a human mind, yeah, I can accept. Sure, that could be the case, but could that even happen? Hold on. Why am I saying hold on? I'm just gonna pause this. Okay, now, the digestive system. Only a small stomach could fit in, and it, for the rest of the process of maintaining itself as, with plants, I don't know the processes behind it, but they don't, where was I? Oh. The strawberry could, but really the only things outside of a plant, in terms of its inner workings, would be muscles, the stuff, the strong material being used in its legs, and any organs. But it's safe to assume that really the only organs it would need were those responsible for breaking down whatever it eats into its base components to then be used. Because everything else is maintained by how plants function automatically, and it has eyes and a form of locomotion. The water can get through the mouth, and with the leaves on it could probably do photosynthesis, but the existence of a mouth from a biological standpoint would mean that the photosynthesis it does from the leaves would not be enough to support it. And apparently, there is an actual animal that can do photosynthesis. I think, what is it called? A leaf sheep? I don't know. It's a real small animal. Heard the name leaf sheep. The term leaf sheep got run by me. Hold on, I'm gonna Google it. Home screen, please. What is the name of the animal that does photosynthesis? Oh yes, takes a while to load. Gonna be here for a while. Well, the point is, it very well could do photosynthesis. I'm not protesting that, but a digestive system is implied. Oh, the thing is starting to load. It also, well, it could. It also, we do know it has a digestive system, and it excretes jam. But jam wouldn't make sense because that's part of what the stuff in the jam can still be used for the rest of it. Because it's jam. Assuming it's real jam, it probably has some other things in it as well, like sugar, I think, is in jam. Sea slugs. The sea slugs live in salt marshes in New England and Canada, in addition to the burglarizing these genes need to make the green pigment chlorophyll. The slugs also steal tiny cell particles called chloroplasts. Chloroplasts, which they use to conduct photosynthesis. Okay, sea slugs can do photosynthesis. There. Okay. Why'd I just get reminded about how long my email is? Anyway, so yeah, it could do and it's also base. Its base is also a plant, so it has leaves. It does photosynthesis. Real world animal does photosynthesis as well. And so we can tell that because the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Oh wait, we're not talking about the mitochondria. I know stuff that probably no one doing what I do should know, within reason. And I happen to know stuff about the mitochondria and the space and nukes and explosions and radioactive rain and cells and a wee bit of history outside of what school teaches me, because in the past, during school, there would be a break that was advised for me by someone who worked at the school for me to do in between classes when I was online learning. I think that was at 10 minutes, and I would most often watch Kazkazat. And they know a lot of stuff about their stuff, and they research it, and they have a document in their description of their sources. I've never gone there. I've never done anything there. They say they have it. It wouldn't make sense for them to lie about it, and I'm sure some people will probably want to read that. And there was some stuff that the scientists that they hired disagreed on in a few episodes. You can see some of that there, apparently. I might be remembering it wrong. Anyway, yeah, so now the digestive system. There's not enough room, so maybe the stomach. Okay, so the stomach. It probably produces stomach acid because it's gotta break down the food going into it, and it's probably going to have a stomach acid similar, if not identical, to ours. The stomach acid that I have in me. Well, as a human. And there is only one time I heard the pH of stomach acid, and this very well could be misinformation, but it has a pH level of 2. Any lower, it's the maximum pH it can go, and with how it's like only a few millimeters of mucus in between the stomach and the acid, so it's stopping that erosion, well, disintegration from the acid. It's unlikely with my very limited knowledge of acids. I have limited knowledge in acids. It very well could be a mucus that is acid resistant. An acid resistant mucus. I don't know, there are materials that are resistant to acid, so, hey, maybe mucus can also do stuff like that. And there has to be something keeping the stomach acid in, and stomach acid does indeed burn. I also do not, yeah. But apparently it doesn't burn enough to stop a dog from repetitively licking it up. Ketamine. Isn't ketamine a sedative made for horse? Isn't it a horse tranquilizer? 50. Okay. Now, even if there was limited space for the intestines, or something similar to intestines, within the strawberry, the intestines has muscles that move the feces, that move the food through it. And in us, we have bacteria in us. I'm not sure about any other animals. I wouldn't be surprised if other animals had gut bacteria in there. They help us digest stuff we can't digest otherwise, and give us cravings. And apparently one study linked some of that bacteria to autism, but I've only heard of one study. And if only one study is done into something and gets a result, as opposed to multiple studies, well, there's a higher chance that the wide conception is wrong because of an error. But if many do it and repeatedly get the same results, yeah. Well, anyway, back on the fruit. Back on strawberry. With strawberry, you could have a digestive system where the bacteria, where it's, I don't know, like a pouch or a sac. Instead of the 25 feet of intestines that we have, but only scaled down smaller. And in there it has gut bacteria, or perhaps special cells, or just whatever processes the intestines do. And it happens to the food, and it stays there until it has all that, and then it gets excreted from the body in the jam. It's got a short digestive system from what I can learn from the visuals. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. 15-minute limit is approaching.